police assaults of the LGBTQ plus activists becoming a pattern in Tunisia. A prominent LGBTQ activist in Tunisia has reported that two men, one dressed in police uniform, threw him to the ground, beat and kicked him during an assault. They said was punishment for his insulting attempts to file complaints against police officers for previous mistreatment. Badr Baabou, president of the Tunisian Association for Justice and Equality, or Damj, said, "That was not the first time that I had been attacked by a policeman, but I was really surprised. The attack was horrifying. They aimed for my head. At a moment, they stood on my neck. This was very symbolic for me, as if they wanted to reduce me to silence." Police violence is among the myriad challenges that the LGBTQ people experience in Tunisia. Observers say officers who can dispense beatings with impunity are becoming increasingly brazen. Homosexual activity in the North African country remains a criminal offense punishable by up to 3 years in prison. Human Rights Watch researcher Rasha Younes says that while police attacks have been ongoing, recent attacks show that they are becoming more public and unabashed in their mistreatment of the LGBTQ Tunisian, a climate of criminalization. Police says, and comment ends.
Yeah, I mean, the world is a scary place.
Tough.
We're finding out tonight, but you know, there was a story we did a while ago about when we were talking about the U.S. leaving Afghanistan and hearing about again the punishment and things that were going to go on there, and this just reiterates that again. The reason that we have to be so strong here and kind of spread the message is that there are lots of people out there that are just being punished every single day.
I mean, there's such a, I mean, I don't know if but there's such a common thread to all these stories already. That is, we kind of see all these different forms of homophobia at the intersection of racism and classism that are existing in a number of different countries, right? But one of the kind of key one of the takeaways for this is that this is police brutality. This is state violence against LGBTQ folks, right? And we have so much to learn in the United States against police brutality that's targeting Black and brown folks. Like, that is, how do we, it's very easy for us to imagine that things need to get better elsewhere when we see so many problems within, the United States itself and police brutality. And it's a lot to take in as you're kind of seeing all these stories connect.
Right, and I think too, we've talked about this on the show before as well, as our communities become more visible, that's when there's more pushback, right, and more violence, and I think it's going to encourage more people to stand up against it, right, and it's an ongoing battle, and we've just got to be strong and be authentic.
Authentic, yes, against any type of social injustice.
That's right.
That's the key issue, is social injustice is what we're all saying.
Right.
You cannot really sway one towards the other, and I think that's what we're seeing the problem. If you favor one and then we don't highlight another issue, it's just going to continue to grow.
That's
and
right.
that's really where we are as a nation, not just in America, but as a nation, like everywhere.
Yeah, solidarity is what we have to understand ourselves as interconnected. I mean, because we are.
Yeah.
And we've all said something sort of very similar, but the world is watching us, right? So I wonder how much of this brazen activity by these cops is directly informed by what they're seeing happening here. Right. Well, if the Americans are doing it, we should beat up people of color. We should beat up LGBT folks, right? So we have a responsibility as Americans, right? And all politics is local, as we also talk about on the show and on all of our shows, actually. So it's important for us to take the reins here of what's happening and making sure that the images that are shown coming from America as much as possible are not these degrading, these prejudiced, these hateful images that lead to this kind of modeling by other countries.
That's right. Great point.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ